In this video, I will discuss the topic if life hurts you. Do not care less about it and share 5 Stoic lessons on not caring. Stoicism provides practical wisdom for navigating life's challenges and finding inner peace. By embracing these lessons, you can learn to focus on what you can control, accept the impermanence of life, choose your reactions wisely, let go of the need for approval, and practice gratitude and acceptance. Watching this video can help you cultivate a Stoic mindset, enabling you to face difficulties with resilience, find contentment, and live a more fulfilling life. Stay stoic and watch till the end to benefit from these valuable insights. Lesson 1. Focus on what you can control. Stoicism teaches us that the key to a tranquil and fulfilled life lies in focusing our attention on what we have control over, rather than wasting energy on things beyond our influence. This lesson is fundamental in Stoic philosophy, and can have a profound impact on how we approach and navigate life's challenges. In our daily lives, we often find ourselves preoccupied with external events, the actions of others or circumstances that are outside of our control. We worry about what might happen in the future, or we dwell on past events that we cannot change. Stoicism invites us to shift our attention from these uncontrollable aspects of life and instead focus on our own thoughts, actions, and decisions. By directing our energy towards what we can control, we reclaim power over our lives. We can make a conscious effort to shape our thoughts and reactions, to act in accordance with our values, and to make decisions that align with our goals. In doing so, we become active participants in our own lives, rather than passive victims of circumstance. Imagine, for example, that you are stuck in traffic on your way to an important meeting. Your initial reaction might be frustration or anger, as you have no control over the traffic. However, applying the Stoic principle of focusing on what you can control, you can choose to shift your perspective. Instead of allowing the external situation to dictate your emotional state, you can adjust your thoughts and responses. You might take a deep breath and accept the situation, recognizing that you cannot change the traffic, but can control how you react to it. Perhaps use the time stuck in traffic to listen to an audiobook or practice mindfulness. By focusing on what you can control, you transform a potentially stressful situation into an opportunity for personal growth and self-improvement. This Stoic lesson also highlights the importance of distinguishing between what is within our control and what is not. While we may have some influence over certain aspects of our lives, such as our health, career choices, or relationships, we must acknowledge that external events, other people's actions, and even our own past are beyond our control. By accepting this reality, we free ourselves from the burden of trying to control the uncontrollable. We let go of unnecessary worries, anxieties, and frustrations. Instead, we develop a sense of detachment from external outcomes and cultivate an inner resilience that allows us to adapt to life's uncertainties. Practicing this lesson requires a shift in mindset and a commitment to self-awareness. It involves regularly examining our thoughts, emotions, and reactions to determine whether they are focused on what we can control or being influenced by external factors. It requires us to challenge our ingrained patterns of thinking and actively choose how we respond to situations. By embracing this Stoic lesson, we gain a sense of empowerment and peace. We realize that we have the power to shape our internal world regardless of the circumstances we find ourselves in. We become masters of our own lives, capable of finding contentment and happiness even in the face of adversity. So, remember, when life presents challenges or throws obstacles in your path, focus on what you can control. Direct your energy towards your thoughts, actions, and decisions. By doing so, you will discover a newfound sense of agency and resilience, enabling you to navigate life's ups and downs with wisdom, calmness, and inner strength. Lesson 2. Embrace impermanence. One of the fundamental teachings of Stoicism is the acceptance of impermanence. Stoics believe that everything in life is subject to change, and nothing lasts forever. By embracing this reality, we can find peace and freedom from attachment to things that are transient. In our modern society, we often strive for stability, security, and permanence. We seek comfort and resist any form of change or uncertainty. However, the Stoics argue that this attachment to permanence leads to suffering and discontentment. They encourage us to recognize the fleeting nature of life and to let go of our resistance to change. Imagine a beautiful flower in full bloom. It is a symbol of vitality, beauty, and life. However, as time passes, the flower begins to wither and eventually dies. This is the natural cycle of life: birth, growth, decay, and death. The Stoics remind us that everything, including our own lives, follows this pattern. By accepting impermanence, we can cultivate a mindset that is adaptable and resilient. We become less attached to the outcomes we desire and more open to the flow of life. We understand that change is inevitable, and rather than resisting it, we learn to embrace it. When faced with challenging situations, such as the loss of a loved one, the end of a relationship, or a change in our circumstances, the Stoic approach is to acknowledge the pain and grief, but also to recognize that these events are part of the natural order of things. We cannot control or prevent them from happening, but we can control our response to them. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus said, "Do not seek to have events happen as you want them to, but instead want them to happen as they do happen, and your life will go well." This means that instead of clinging to our expectations and desires for how things should be, we should accept and embrace what actually happens. For example, imagine you have been laid off from your job unexpectedly. It is natural to feel a sense of fear, uncertainty, and disappointment. However, by embracing impermanence, you can shift your perspective. Rather than dwelling on the loss and resisting the change, you can remind yourself that this is an opportunity for growth, learning, and new possibilities. You can focus on developing new skills, exploring different career paths, and finding ways to adapt to the changing circumstances. Embracing impermanence also helps us appreciate the present moment. When we are constantly seeking permanence and stability, we often overlook the beauty and richness of what is right in front of us. The Stoics encourage us to cultivate gratitude for the present moment and to find joy in the simple pleasures of life. By letting go of attachment to things and embracing impermanence, we become more resilient and adaptable. We learn not to resist or fear change, but to flow with it. This mindset allows us to find peace and contentment in the face of life's uncertainties. In conclusion, the Stoic lesson of embracing impermanence reminds us that everything in life is subject to change and nothing lasts forever. By accepting this reality, we can let go of our attachment to permanence and find peace in the present moment. Embracing impermanence allows us to be more resilient, adaptable, and grateful for what we have. So, let us embrace the flow of life and find comfort in the impermanence of it all. Lesson 3. Choose your reactions wisely. Stoicism teaches us that events themselves are neutral. It is our judgments and reactions that give them meaning. This lesson encourages us to pause and examine our thoughts before responding to situations, allowing us to choose our reactions wisely. By practicing mindfulness and cultivating self-awareness, we can respond in a way that aligns with our values and brings about inner tranquility. In our daily lives, we encounter numerous situations that can trigger strong emotional reactions. It may be a harsh criticism from a colleague, a disagreement with a loved one, or even a minor inconvenience that disrupts our plans. Our initial instinct might be to react impulsively, driven by anger, frustration, or hurt. However, Stoicism reminds us that we have a choice in how we respond. The first step in choosing our reactions wisely is to cultivate mindfulness. Mindfulness involves being fully present in the moment and observing our thoughts and feelings without judgment. It allows us to create a mental space between an event and our response, enabling us to act with greater clarity and wisdom. When faced with a challenging situation, take a moment to pause and breathe. By consciously bringing your attention to the present moment, you can avoid being swept away by impulsive reactions. This pause allows you to observe your thoughts and emotions, gaining insight into your initial judgments and the potential consequences of your reactions. Stoics encourage us to examine our thoughts and challenge any irrational beliefs or assumptions. Often, our initial judgments are clouded by personal biases, fears, or insecurities. By questioning the validity of our judgments, we can shift our perspective and respond more rationally. For example, imagine receiving an email from a coworker criticizing your work. Your initial reaction might be to feel defensive and hurt. However, by practicing Stoic principles, you can choose to take a step back and question your initial judgment. Is this criticism valid? Is it meant to help you grow and improve? By examining the situation objectively, you may find that the criticism holds some truth, and rather than reacting defensively, you can respond with gratitude for the opportunity to learn and grow. Choosing our reactions wisely also involves recognizing that we have control over our internal responses, even if we cannot control external events. Stoics believe that our emotions are within our power to manage. While we may not always be able to control the circumstances that life presents us with, we can control how we interpret and respond to them. For instance, if you find yourself stuck in traffic, you can choose to become frustrated and agitated, or you can use that time to practice patience and reflect on the things you are grateful for. By consciously choosing a positive and constructive response, you can transform a potentially stressful situation into an opportunity for personal growth and self-improvement. The Stoic practice of choosing our reactions wisely is not about suppressing or denying our emotions. It is about cultivating emotional intelligence and responding in a way that aligns with our values and leads to greater well-being. It allows us to detach ourselves from knee-jerk reactions and instead respond with thoughtfulness, compassion, and understanding. By mastering this lesson, we can navigate life's challenges with grace and resilience. We become less reactive to external events and more focused on what truly matters, our inner character, and the values we uphold. It empowers us to cultivate better relationships, make wiser decisions, and maintain our inner peace amidst the storms of life. In conclusion, Stoicism teaches us to choose our reactions wisely by practicing mindfulness, examining our thoughts, and challenging our initial judgments. This lesson empowers us to respond to situations in a way that aligns with our values and brings about inner tranquility. By consciously choosing our reactions, we can navigate life's challenges with greater resilience and find lasting fulfillment. So, let us embrace this Stoic teaching and approach life's ups and downs with wisdom and composure. Lesson 4. Let go of the need for approval. Stoicism teaches us to detach our self-worth from the opinions and judgments of others. In a world where validation and acceptance are often sought after, this lesson can be incredibly liberating and transformative. By letting go of the need for approval, we can find true inner contentment and live in alignment with our own values and principles. One of the core teachings of Stoicism is the notion that our happiness should not be dependent on external factors. Seeking constant validation from others puts us at the mercy of their opinions, which can be unpredictable and fickle. Our self-worth becomes vulnerable and easily shattered. Stoics, however, advocate for an internal locus of control, where our sense of worth is derived from our own thoughts, actions, and character. When we are constantly seeking approval, we are essentially surrendering our power to others. We may find ourselves compromising our values, beliefs, and desires in order to fit in or please those around us. This can lead to a state of internal conflict and a loss of authenticity. Stoicism encourages us to resist this temptation and stay true to ourselves, regardless of the opinions of others. To let go of the need for approval, we must first recognize that everyone's judgments and opinions are subjective and influenced by their own biases, experiences, and expectations. What one person finds admirable, another may find disagreeable. Stoics remind us that we have limited control over what others think of us, and it is futile to try to please everyone. Instead, Stoicism encourages us to focus on living a virtuous life according to our own principles. By cultivating self-awareness and understanding our core values, we can make decisions and take actions that align with our authentic selves. This requires a deep level of introspection and reflection, but it is an essential step toward finding inner peace and contentment. Letting go of the need for approval also means embracing the possibility of criticism and disapproval. Stoics understand that criticism is inevitable, and it is often a reflection of the insecurities and biases of the critic, rather than a true evaluation of our worth. By not allowing external opinions to define us, we can maintain our sense of self-worth and remain steadfast in our beliefs and actions. Furthermore, Stoicism teaches us to focus on the quality of our own character rather than seeking validation from others. Virtue, according to Stoic philosophy, is the highest good, and living a virtuous life should be our ultimate goal. By striving to cultivate qualities such as wisdom, justice, courage, and self-discipline, we can find fulfillment and meaning in our own actions, regardless of external recognition or approval. By letting go of the need for approval, we free ourselves from the burden of constantly seeking validation and acceptance. We become more self-reliant and self-assured, finding strength from within rather than relying on others to define our worth. This mindset shift allows us to live authentically and confidently, making choices that align with our values and principles. In conclusion, the fourth Stoic lesson on letting go of the need for approval is a powerful reminder to prioritize our own self-worth and authenticity over the opinions of others. By recognizing the subjective nature of judgments and focusing on our own character and values, we can find true contentment and live in alignment with our true selves. Letting go of the need for approval is a transformative practice that empowers us to live a life guided by our own principles and to find fulfillment on our own terms. Lesson 5. Practice gratitude and acceptance. One of the fundamental teachings of Stoicism is the importance of practicing gratitude and acceptance. In our modern society, it is easy to get caught up in the pursuit of more success, more possessions, more recognition. We often fail to appreciate what we already have and constantly seek external validation or material gain. However, the Stoics remind us that true contentment lies in acknowledging and being grateful for what we already possess. To fully understand the significance of practicing gratitude and acceptance, let's delve deeper into this Stoic lesson and explore how it can positively impact our lives. Gratitude is the practice of recognizing and appreciating the blessings, big and small, that exist in our lives. It involves shifting our focus from what we lack to what we have. Stoicism teaches us to view even the most ordinary aspects of life as gifts. A warm cup of coffee, a loving family, good health, or a beautiful sunset. By cultivating gratitude, we develop a sense of abundance and satisfaction, reducing our desire for more and allowing us to find contentment in the present moment. In our fast-paced and consumer-driven society, it's easy to fall into the trap of always wanting more. We may constantly compare ourselves to others, feeling inadequate or envious of their possessions or achievements. Stoicism encourages us to break free from this cycle by accepting life as it unfolds and focusing on our own journey. By accepting our current circumstances, we can let go of the need for external validation and find peace within ourselves. Acceptance does not imply resignation or passivity. It means acknowledging reality and working with what we have, rather than fighting against it. Stoicism teaches us to differentiate between what we can control and what we cannot. External events, the actions of others, or even unexpected hardships are beyond our control. However, we have control over our thoughts, actions, and attitudes. By accepting the things we cannot change and focusing on what we can control, we can direct our energy towards constructive endeavors and inner growth. Practicing gratitude and acceptance also helps us cope with the impermanence of life. The Stoics remind us that everything is subject to change and nothing lasts forever. By accepting this reality, we can detach ourselves from the desire for things to remain constant or for events to play out in a specific way. This mindset allows us to adapt and find peace in the face of adversity. When we embrace impermanence, we become less attached to outcomes and more focused on the present moment, making the most of what life offers us. Cultivating gratitude and acceptance can have profound effects on our mental and emotional well-being. Research has shown that practicing gratitude reduces stress, improves sleep quality, boosts self-esteem, and enhances overall happiness. By shifting our mindset to one of appreciation and acceptance, we create a positive feedback loop that elevates our mood and improves our overall outlook on life. In conclusion, the fifth Stoic lesson on practicing gratitude and acceptance reminds us to appreciate what we have, accept the circumstances we find ourselves in, and find contentment in the present moment. By shifting our focus from what we lack to what we possess, We can reduce our desire for external validation or material possessions. Cultivating gratitude and acceptance allows us to find joy and fulfillment in the small things, cope with the impermanence of life, and strengthen our mental and emotional well-being. So let us embrace this Stoic lesson, practice gratitude, and accept life's unfolding journey with open arms,